Welcome back. Unapologetic Truth Channel with EriKiYah. And congratulations to those that were so gung-ho about this selection that you wanted to polarize people, victimize people, shame them for their own personal choices, for the next level of Karens and Brads, or who were more on the political side. Congratulations to all of you. Some have not got their wish. Some have. But I want to caution you all. Be careful what you ask for. The divisiveness was so stark. They actually went as far as to make commercials shaming people if they did not participate in the selection process, by informing people, in case they didn't realize, that how you vote is public knowledge. Whether or not you vote is public knowledge. They had the audacity to make commercials, radio commercials, TV commercials, driving this point across to incite. And yes, I'm saying the word incite, because what else could it be? Where you're trying to incite division, incite possible violence, to further polarize people. What else could it be? So once again, this is another example of how the powers that be, so to speak, in this system, want to cause division, so much so that they want to eventually bring about their evil war. And I'm substituting that first letter. It's not a C, it's an E, because what they're doing is evil. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. So it's not the evil war, it's the evil war. So they're trying to instigate, and really that's what it is. It's straight instigating, like a playground bully wanting to instigate a fight between two friends, maybe, or two different people. You want to cause all kind of division, and you walk away scot-free. Meanwhile, you're causing more harm than good. I was there. I've been there. I can readily admit I've been an instigator at points in my life. So yeah, this is literally all that is. More instigation.
And all you women, you so-called black women that are boo-hooing on social media, shaming the brothers You ought to be ashamed of yourself. How dare you go against our men for someone that didn't care 2 cents, didn't give a darn about you as a woman, especially as a woman of color. How dare you? All of you need to stop it right now because you look ridiculous. Y'all have literally drank the Kool-Aid and have drowned in it. At the very same time, you look pathetic and you're making us look bad as a people. Get it together.
So you see, these things have taken place, and the wickedness is just so blatant. Just in seeing how all of this has played out to the point where Chameleon Harris went as far as to, once again, like the Democrats do, pander to the so-called black community, doing the black church tour, going up there, speaking at these churches, and literally you could hear that she's trying to sound like Martin Luther King, like, so she can have these sound bites and memes sounding so prolific, literally quoting the Bible, which you know how Satan does. And you can hear the cadence in her voice. Like, are you serious right now? I couldn't help but I'm like laughing so bad. I'm like, get out of here. First of all, she's not of melanated descent in that way. She's not Negro at all. That's already come out. But because she apparently because she pledged a so-called black sorority, and I also want to preface this by saying Caucasians, they do the same thing. These sororities and fraternities accept everybody now. Okay? So just understand that. But she's done this, and now it's like, oh, well, she's our community. No. And so she goes as far as to be speaking at these so-called black churches, and weeks before, she's literally letting people know that had the courage to say that Messiah is king. JC is LORD, which, you know, I don't use those terms anymore because of the understanding. But anyway, the point was, they were bold in the way they went about what they said to make the point. And besides being pushed by the crowd, and she literally helped to have the crowd heckle them, talking about they're at the wrong rally, she ends up turning around and goes on the Negro Circuit Tour for those last minute votes that always count. Every 4 years, they're coming to the so-called black community because they know, just like our dollars, our vote counts. And once again, this happened. But then you also have these gospel singers, bishops in the so-called black church making a collaborative commercial endorsing this woman. Those very ones that you love their music, because I have at one time as well. Those like Yolanda Adams, Erica Campbell from Mary Mary, the Clark sisters, which the husband of one of them, the so-called bishop, she spoke at Chameleon spoke at his church, and he's so-called praying over her. Like, man, it's just a sham. It's a sham, and it's a shamble. And the Most High, oh, his judgment is going to be so swift and strong on these people if they do not repent. But they're worried about that almighty dollar, and of course they have to worry about the ones that can make or break their career. So of course they got to do their minstrel show, if you will, their shucking and jiving. But what's done well, it's not even in the dark, but it's all going to come out in the wash, as they say. And then I see today that one community that you would almost never expect to come out and vote for any party, they came out in record numbers in my previous state of Pennsylvania. And you could call that community a minority community as well. But the Amish people, yes, I said the Amish people, they came out in record numbers. And you know who they didn't vote for? That party that was trying to shut down their farms. That party that kept harassing the people that don't even subscribe or live in they have their own laws, they have their own community, if you will, that they live amongst, and they don't subscribe to our laws. But guess what? They came out, they showed up. So I guess where it counts, they'll be right there. So yeah, this has been unprecedented in so many ways, on so many levels. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was saying that literally political science, you can major in that in most colleges and universities in America, and possibly globally, but definitely in America. And so what is political science all about? It's to eventually embark on a career in politics. So how is that democratic in any way, shape, or form when you literally can major in something that will allow you to use that degree and move up in the election process to eventually could very well become a president? So where is the democratic process in that alone? Because oftentimes you don't see everyday people that are making it to be senators or House of Representative folks. Now maybe on a state level, but typically on the federal level, you don't see that. And if you look at some of their accolades, it wouldn't be surprising if they did have the look of, have the credentials behind their name, the BS in political science, the masters, the doctorates, those credentials, more than likely, more often than not, I would dare say, are a part of their background with these political figures. And if they are of a grassroots nature, and they might start out with pure intentions, with good intentions, usually someone is pulling the strings, and they get corrupted. We've seen that time and time again as well. So, I say this, I mean, I've said this, and I literally made a shirt about it, but politics is the new organized crime. It is. Now, I don't know if somebody else came up with that, but I never saw it. But regardless, that's the point I'm making. We are not in the land of the free, definitely not. And there's no such thing as democracy anymore. If it's ever been. For folks that look like me, no such thing. Still not there yet. So these are the realities of it. I just want to remind those that what was part of this selection process, those everyday people that were part of this process, unknowingly, they didn't understand apparently the ramifications of their actions, but they will. I just want to remind you of the different things. First of all, and these are in no particular order, the 15-minute cities, they still want to implement these 15-minute cities. So this is just one more step closer, regardless of who would have been put in office. These things, they are working towards. And it's only by the Most High's grace where it wouldn't happen. And his hand would be stayed to keep it from happening. But 15-minute cities, there's some areas in the U.S. that may actually have these cities in place, or they could be doing the pilots on this. But they need to start this process. And so when you're concerned about your house being taken for whatever reason, think about these things. I'm not saying that's the case, but you have to understand they have to implement these things. And they're going to do it one way or another. So understand that. Understand also that there is still the Agenda 2030. Well, now I don't even think it's 2030 anymore, because apparently Trump actually had, I'm going to call it a manifesto, but his 2025 plan. So, these things, they still need to bring the chaos. They need to bring about the chaos to instill their NWO. So this is what they're going to do. And he is the poster child for chaos. That's what this is all about. And we can never forget these critical details. So I'm making this to remind you of these things. Okay? The other thing, and I'm going to put the links in the description so you can read it for yourself, because it's all right there. But there was articles that had surfaced in 2023, 2024. Well, they reiterated about this article from 2023 where Trump is actually talking about bringing back certain types of capital punishment. And when I had done my research on this, I believe there is a law on the books now about this very thing. Because when I heard about this, it made me want to look into it. And there is law on the books for this very thing. He's in favor of bringing back firing squads, group executions, and for all of the Christians. He specifically referenced the guillotine. Yes, the guillotine. So think about that. This is what he wants to do. He wants to televise executions. Yes, televise them. But do y'all need to go back and watch 1984 again? That movie? Read that book? Do y'all need to watch movies like The Hunger Games again to get this understanding that they're literally showing you this is what they want to do? This dystopian society where you're going to have to choose a side. This is what he wants to do, and he literally outlined it in an email when he was I believe when he was trying to pursue running for office again. This is what he wants to do, y'all. But most of y'all want to get spoon-fed everything. You don't want to look at things for yourself. They're not even hiding this information. Because I Googled 2 words. The first one being his name, or his last name, and the second one being the word guillotine. So it's out there. But most of y'all wanted to play the ostrich move and keep your head buried in the sand. But it's people that are sounding the alarm on these things, that are trying to warn you by the grace of the Most High, Yahweh, to be mindful and understand what it is that you're doing, what you're getting yourself into. So again, I can't stress it enough. Repent. These are truly the end times. These are the last days. We do not have long. Please give your life to the Most High. Accept salvation through His Son, Mashiach, Messiah, Yahushua, Yahushua HaMashiach. Salvation is free. We have free will. But it's going to be a time when you won't have a choice. Don't let him say, "Depart from me, I never knew you. You who work lawlessness." Don't let that be your fate. Please. I love you all. I thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe as you're led. The Most High, may He bless you and keep you all. Please stay safe. Shalom. Shalom.